Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot.
देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi taupa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम इंग्लिश लंबासा में रहता है, तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In this bulletin, government considers strengthening laws in the political parties decree. HFC to commence commercial banking operations next month. And Nandi Town Council to revisit city plans. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The government is looking into the possibility of strengthening certain laws within the political parties decree. This after unionists recently made public their membership of an association with political parties. Chanel Sivan spoke exclusively to the Elections Minister to highlight Section 14 of the Political Parties Decree that deals with unionists and their affiliation with political parties.
Section 14 subsection 1 and 2 clearly indicates no unionist can show support, be a part of and engage in politics. The law seems very clear-cut. Unionists aren't allowed to participate in any sort of political activity.
There's obviously nothing stopping a trade union official who has political aspirations or supports a political party, particular political party, to go ahead and do that. They simply must resign from the position that they're holding in the trade union organization. That is the intention of it. And it is quite clear. I mean, in Section 14, as you know, for example, Section C says that you cannot engage in political activity that may compromise or be seen to compromise the political neutrality of your office.
Some parties like the PDP and NFP seem to be circumventing the decree, saying specific unionists like Felix Anthony, Daniel Urai, Pramod Rai and Attar Singh are only advising the two parties when invited.
Wherever we have any launching or any meetings, he may come on invitation. If we invite him to as a workers' rep, he is at liberty.
All of these trade unionists who have been apparently invited to speak at these political party gatherings have only been going to one political party gathering. So it does show that they are not politically neutral. That is the fact. If they continue to go to one political party and continue to be invited supposedly by that just one political party, it goes to show that they're not politically neutral. It goes directly against this particular provision in the political parties decree.
Attar Singh and Pramod Rai have been publicly showing support to and attending National Federation Party meetings.
If they invite me to come and speak at their forums, I will continue to do that. And that's what I've been doing at NFP. NFP is the invitation. Any public officer is free to attend political party meetings of any political party.
These trade union officials are flaunting the law. They're not adhering to the spirit of the law. Unfortunately, in Fiji, that has always been the case. Politicians, and of course in this case some of these trade union officials, they think that they're above the law and they think it's some form of a, a area that they can enjoy, get into gimmickry. That's what they're doing.
Although Section 14 is quite clear on unionist do's and don'ts, it's obvious rules are being ignored. The government will not take this lightly and will strengthen its laws from it being flaunted. Chanel Sivan, FBC News.
Home Finance Company will start its commercial banking operations on the 3rd of next month. HFC Chief Executive Officer Isikeli Tikondoandoa told FBC News all their 6 branches around the country will operate as commercial banks.
Please do come in on the 3rd of March. We will be only too glad to help you and our staff to assist you in not only opening an account with us, but probably look at your other needs insofar as lending or other investment that you want to look at.
Tikondoandoa says they will look at increasing the number of branches in the near future. The presence of a species of fruit flies in Rotuma is causing the holdup in Fiji's breadfruit export to the United States. Biosecurity Authority of Fiji Supervisor Post-Border Viliame Ratoto says BAF and the Ministry of Agriculture are carrying out a research on the fruit fly species. Ratoto says the species is only found on Rotuma, hence the research is being conducted there. The issue is being raised by U.S. biosecurity authorities.
But we don't have it here in Viti level, so it's we have area freedom in Viti level. Okay. So there can be two conditions: either we can opt to send Uto from Viti level because we don't have that species here, or otherwise just to find the kill temperature for that species.
Fiji is also looking at exporting breadfruit to Australia and New Zealand. Coming up, Navuso youths leap into business with a new canteen.
Gonga elambasa Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Ndo talita kana borong na Mbula FM number 2 na sere su.
Au vai tu garaki au reba tu ni stima au ndo talita kana borong na Mbula.
Bola bina Fiji Mbula FM number 2 singa toka.
Bola bina era roga Mbula FM number 2 tikoga.
Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Military Commander Vorenge Bainimarama is calling for all options to be exercised before soldiers are terminated from the RFMF. Bainimarama says after reading files of former soldiers, he's noticed many were fined when they could have been given a second chance. Apisalome Dhokar reports.
The military commander has reminded his senior officers that sacking are not the only solution for disciplinary issues.
Some of you officers should have a heart. Once you have stars on your uniforms, you think you're a god. The first person that does not do what's required, you sack him. When there is a deserter, you sack him. You don't turn up to work, you get sacked. When I follow through cases of those sacked, a huge number of soldiers had a valid reason not to be at work. Some, their wives or their loved one was very sick, and he cannot make it to work. Yet they got sacked because you wearing a star thinks you are God. Learn to have a heart. Some people need a second chance in life. The reason for that star is to look after your soldiers.
Bainimarama reminded his men holding leadership roles and following commands are not only important for the operations of the RFMF, but the nation as a whole.
The outcome of what we are doing should be fruitful. The time you fail with your leadership and not listen to the command from your superior, the military will fail, the company will fail, our voyage will fail, our nation will also be affected.
The military commander says it is the military's task to work with the government and help people who are in need of their services and assistance.
A large number of people need a second chance to have a life. Some don't want it. If they don't want to come to ask for a second chance, then leave them. There are people that want water. Some are still drinking from streams and rivers, an issue that I just can't accept. Some still with no electricity, no homes, no jobs. These are the people that want a second chance. We have the powers to see that government assistance flows through to the people that need a second chance in life. We have the powers, the leadership to give our soldiers a second chance in life, because we all do wrong, and you all know that.
Bainimarama says there's always room for better judgment rather than termination. Apisalome Dhokar, FBC News.
Nandi's economic development has grown rapidly over the years, despite being hit by devastating floods in the past. The expansion on Denarau Island and new projects such as Fantasy Island and Naisoso spurred the growth, placing the council at that time under some pressure, wanting it to become the country's third city after Suva and Lautoka. Akosita Tale reports the council is now revisiting that vision.
The plan for Nandi to become a city was first mooted in 1999 when the town's administrators saw the rapid expansion taking place.
We thought that if we become the first city in the world of the millennium, then it will be a very good advertising for Fiji, for tourism and for Nandi as well. We tried but we could not, so we missed out on that. But now we are not in that rush. At that time we were in rush to catch up with the time, but now we are not in rush. We will move, but we will move very solidly.
However, now the council is having to revisit that plan as there is still much to be done.
You see, Nasinu has got much more than the 20,000 population, but it's not a city yet. Maybe there would be certain other conditions. Well, I know the services has to improve. This is a tourist town, so we have to improve our services to call ourselves that we are a city.
The council has recently defined areas which could be included into the town's boundary, but there are no promises yet as to how long this process will take.
As it is, we have set our own town time frame till 31st December of this year. But as I see that we are already behind because certain things has not happened. So it might be this year or little more, few months extra, we don't know.
While the need for Nadi to be a model satellite city in Fiji and the region may be slow, the council welcomes any advice and contributions from the ratepayers and the public at large to fulfill this vision. Akosita Talei, FBC News.
One of the oldest hotels in Lautoka will undergo a major facelift this year that promises to put the sugar city back on the tourist map. Shireen Lanta reports architects are currently working on the best design to turn one of Lautoka's most iconic hotels into one of the most modern four-star hotels in the area.
Built 32 years ago, Lautoka Hotel started off with only 39 rooms. Owner and prominent businessman Charanjit Singh now plans to turn this city landmark into a contemporary 7-story four-star hotel.
It will have 82 rooms with a shopping mall on the ground floor with an up-class nightclub and of course our pizza restaurant, which is very famous in Lautoka. We also will have a rooftop garden restaurant and a conference center which could hold around 250 people.
For the Lautoka Chamber of Commerce, this new project means more visitors for the city.
Lautoka, we have got a tourism committee with us, and then we are trying to get tourists to Lautoka. Once the tourist is in Lautoka, there are many attractive things which tourists will enjoy. Same time, our economy will grow up. This four-star hotel right in the center of the city, something unique in Lautoka.
We have actually shortlisted amongst the two architects, and we finally would prefer to take the local architect who I believe understands the logistics of Fiji's tourism market. And that project we're looking about between 10 to 12 million.
The hotel, which currently houses one of the Lautoka's most famous nightclubs, Ashiki, is expected to close down partially when renovations start later this year. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Youth of Navuso village outside Nausori now have something to show off. With help from the United Nations Development Programme and the Ministry of Youth, they've opened a canteen business. The youth group received a $5,000 funding for this. Erelina Wandra reports.
Villagers of Navuso are filled with pride after the youths took up the challenge to make something of themselves. This canteen was built by the youths as an income-generating project.
Today I am really happy for what the Ministry of Youth and Sports has done. This has brought all the youths in the village together. For the past years, we've been trying to bring the youths together, and we are so glad that this project made it possible.
Laisara says the Ministry of Youth is facilitating funding from the UNDP, which helps people finance small businesses and other projects.
Really is to empower young people such as the youth of Navuso village through this canteen project to assist in enhancing their skills in decision making and also in business.
55 youth groups applied for funding from the UNDP. 23 of them were successful in receiving funding.
The reason I wanted this to happen so that the youths can find jobs. Most of them don't have any jobs. Secondly, if they idle around, then they may participate in criminal activities. So I want to do this, to bring them together and work together for a worthy cause.
Another round of funding will be available through expression of interest later in the year. Aurelia Nawandra, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. It's a brand new week, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. In sports tonight, with more money at its disposal, the FRU provides new cash incentives for the Fiji Sevens team, and Suva lead the National Football League points table. That and more after the break.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We love Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Suva.
Lotoka City love Today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back to the FBC Sports. The Fiji Rugby Union has introduced a new bonus package for the Vodafone National Sevens team. The team will get the first taste of this for reaching the semi-finals at the Wellington Sevens over the weekend. Salenda Dakadaka reports.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team now has another reason to give its best in the IRB World Series.
If they win a competition, it's a 25,000 cash bonus. If they lose in the final, it's a 15,000 cash bonus, and if they reach the semi-finals, it's 10,000. So we've lifted the bar to start paying bonus from semi-finals so that it gives them an incentive to aim for the higher end of the competition.
Another possible development is to contract the players, which would put Fiji on par with top teams like New Zealand and South Africa.
But there is also determination by this board to move towards contracting our sevens players, and we've announced that to them, and hopefully we will eventually be able to do that.
This incentive presents a lucrative prospect for current and future reps to perform better on the international stage. FBC Sports.
Suva remains top of the Fiji Sun Skipper Tuna National Football League points table after 4 rounds of competition. The capital city side is yet to lose a match and has opened up a big lead ahead of the rest of the field. Bayanandi is second with 2 games at hand, while Nandrunga is 3 points clear of bottom-placed Lautoka and Navua. Veteran sailor Graham Southwick is on 10th position in the Grand Masters grade of the Hobie 16 World Championships in Australia. Southwick has earned 46 points after 5 races in a field dominated by Australian and American sailors. Meanwhile, John Phillips and Douglas Edwards are also in 10th spot in the Masters division with 17 points. Races were called off this afternoon due to strong winds and will continue from tomorrow. That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Staff of the Hilton Hostel in Suva will not have to tolerate old household goods to wash clothes and cook for their residents anymore. The hostel received a new washing machine and a stove from Home Finance Company. The items are a welcome relief for the students and their carers.
Gift from HFC is a wonderful thing. It's something that was desperately needed, and we're very grateful indeed to HFC for this. Thank you very much indeed.
Hilton Hostel accommodates 12 children with special needs. A new week, so Jen, what's new with the weather?
I wish I could tell you that it snowed in Lambasa or something, Jackie, but in reality, we'll have to travel all the way to Russia to see that. Time for the map. Today's weather saw mostly sunny conditions in the morning, followed by clouds and showers in the afternoon. Looking at temperatures, Lambasa has the highest on 33, Suva, Nandi and Lautoka are on 32, and then we've got Ba and Savusavu on 31 degrees. Let's take a look at what's happening tomorrow. We'll have some showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. There'll also be afternoon or evening showers elsewhere, and isolated afternoon thunderstorms are expected. But enough of those showers and thunderstorms. It's Monday, and I'd like to kick things off with some positivity. Here's a photo from Brittany of Lautoka, who happens to be one of our regular contributors. An absolutely frame-worthy shot of Natandola Beach.
Beautiful, beautiful shot. Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The main points before we go: the government is looking into the possibility of strengthening certain laws within the political party's decree. Home Finance Company will start its commercial banking operations on the 3rd of next month, and the presence of species of fruit flies in Rotuma is causing the holdup in Fiji's breadfruit export to the United States. Onto our poll results from last week, we had asked, should smoke detectors be compulsory in all houses? 76% said yes, 24% said no. This week we're asking, should health checks be made mandatory for PSV drivers? Visit the FBC website to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your stories at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's news for tonight. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Batu Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.